I know you said elsewhere that you intend to be a literary agent forever if we can get away with it, right? You're
Yes.
not yearning to go back to medical coding.
Oh my gosh,
That's
no, no. I wouldn't know what else to do with myself, honestly. I mean, and it's a job I just fell into. But you know, when you fall in love with something, you fall in love with something.
So what is it that keeps you going with agenting, even as we're talking about the problem of the consolidation of publishers and some of the other headwinds facing authors and agents alike? What do you like about agenting? What keeps you passionate about it?
Books, finding new stories. Yeah, I mean, you're creating, or the author, and you're helping curate a whole world, a whole new thing that may affect thousands, millions of people. If one person reads a book and it changes their life, I think that's a magical, powerful thing and incredibly worthwhile, even if I don't know about it, even if I never hear about it. I take solace in knowing that somewhere someone read a book that they love, and maybe I had the opportunity to help form that book in however small a way. Like, for example, one of my favorite books is Night of the Black Rose by James Lowder. I've never spoken to James Lowder. James Lowder will never know, but that book means a lot to me, and I love that book. And you know, it's one of my childhood treasures. I still have my copy from middle school that I read every year. So I mean,
You reread that one?
yeah, I reread that one every year. Um, and I think just having that in the back of my head, that keeps me going. I mean, I just love books, getting to talk about books, getting to read books, getting to help form books. Um, it's magical.
What are some other books that have changed your life and that maybe make your circulation for rereading?
Frankenstein. I love Frankenstein, and I get flack for liking Frankenstein so much, but I mean, I did my thesis on Frankenstein. My
Who are
buddy and
the anti-Frankenstein people out there? I want their names.
it's funny. My buddy and I both did our thesis on Frankenstein, and the professor was kind of like, "Why are you both doing it? Can one of you change it?" And both of us were like, "No, we're not changing." So it turned into a whole big thing where we had to compare and contrast our thesi to make sure we weren't doing the same subject. It was pretty funny. It was entertaining. But yeah, that a lot of the Dragonlance novels, um, a lot of nonfiction too. A book called, I never remember the name, despite the fact I read it every year, called The Sunflower. It's about forgiveness, and it's a lot of asking different clergy or people whether they would forgive the Nazis or not. And I know it's a weird, may seem like a weird subject to read, but I think, you know, reading about forgiveness and the different answers, I think that's a mind opening thing. And, you know, mostly the Jews are like, no, screw you. And a lot of the non-Jewish are like, yeah, we can see that. So it's very interesting. It tells you something about forgiveness.
Well, having read it multiple times, where are you at? Are you on team forgiveness or not so much?
Um, people say you need to forgive because it's for you, but I don't think so. I mean, I mean, when I get angry, I kind of forget about it. I'm just like, that takes too much energy. But you know, there's stuff I don't forgive, and I just move on with my life. I'm not sitting around stewing about it. My mother always says, in order to forgive someone, they have to apologize. So, I mean, I'm just not going to give you my forgiveness for my own sake. I just, you know, move on with my life. I'm not sitting around thinking about, I don't forgive this person.
Yeah, Fair enough. Why take up more of your time thinking about the terrible thing they've already done? Like now we've got not just the terrible thing, but the burden of thinking about the terrible thing you did.
And I'm sure everyone was expecting me to say, yes, I forgive. It's important to forgive, yada, yada, yada. But no, I call bullcrap.
I think I'm mostly there on some things. Like Richard Sackler's not getting my forgiveness. Get out of here, guy.
Oh, I know. I think the best thing that they did was remove the Sackler name from all the museums. Because, you know, as a Jewish family, being Jewish, having your name erased is like a big thing. That's like huge. Because, you know, we say, may your memory be a blessing. May your name be written in the book of life. And to erase someone's from the book of life, or to erase their name, especially since so many of us died in the Holocaust without names, I think that's a huge blow. And I bet you anything, they're more mad about that than losing their company.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, you know, a few public executions wouldn't be the worst idea I've ever heard.
I would not be mad about that either. I'm a big fan of Schneidenfreud, if that's how you say it.
That's feeling delight in someone else's receiving of their righteous.
Yep, shameful joy. I'm a big fan of shameful joy.
Fair enough.